No, 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 no. Don't do it. Don't do it. These are the top 10 things that you should not have in your home when you're trying to sell it. Number one, when you're taking pictures and when you have your house open for other people to come in and take a look, you want to remove any of your kids' names from within the house. If their name is on top of the bed, if it's in their room, if it's on the refrigerator, take it off. There are a lot of scammers out there, a lot of bad people. You don't want some crazy person calling you up and say, hey, I've got Sally, I've kidnapped her, and I need this amount of ransom money. You don't want them knowing anything about your kids. In addition, you want to take all of their artwork off of the walls. You want to put it away safely. You want privacy. When you put your house up for sale and it goes into the MLS, it goes to Zillow and Realtor.com, it goes on to 1 billion sites, and there are very bad people out there looking. People looking at those pictures, try and find out some information and try and take advantage of the fact that you're selling your house and using your personal information. Number two, now this one is different in every state. Here in Charlotte, in North Carolina, you are allowed to videotape people while they're going through your home. So like if you have a Ring or you have an alarm system, you can videotape them, but you cannot audio tape them. Audio tape is a no-no. You cannot listen in. Whether or not people do, that's another story. A lot of people use baby monitors and listen in to what's going on with the buyers in the house. It is a no-no here in North Carolina to listen in. In some states like California, you have to let people know that you're being videotaped. So that's number two. Number three is you have to remove all of your valuables. I don't care what it is, whether it's your Rolex, if it's your jewelry, if it's artwork that you have hung up. You do not want pictures online of that stuff for someone who may come by and decide that this looks like a great target. And number two, you don't want people walking in and saying, hey, wow, this is great artwork, and potentially think of stealing it. Now, yes, I'm thinking very badly of people, but it is a reality. You've got to hide all of your valuables, take them out of the house when there's a showing, take them with you, put them in the bank. You understand. That's number three. Number four on the list, and this one is crazy too, but your medications. Do not have your medications out and readily available when people come through your home. Whether it's an open house or whether it's with a realtor cannot be watching every single person all of the time. It is impossible. Medicine cabinets are a prime target for people to go into, drawers, things like that, any kind of medication. People have problems with medications, they're looking for stuff. Do yourself a favor, take all your medications, put them in a plastic bag, take them with you, hide them someplace. Whatever it is, do not have them anywhere that is an open spot that they can potentially get their hands on them. Medications have been stolen. Now, if you have a safe in your house, if you have valuables in there, if it's one of those large giant safes where people sometimes keep guns, you want to keep that hidden as well. You want to cover it over, especially in pictures. You don't want anybody to know it's there. I had a situation here in Charlotte where I went into a house where somebody was a YouTube guy. He trained special forces. It was a whole thing, but he had a whole upstairs bonus room full of heavy artillery, let's put it that way. So it was not locked away. They did lock the bonus room, but I would get that stuff out of the house. I would put it in the safe. I would hide the safe. That is not something you really want to have hanging around, and you don't want anybody to know that you have it. Whether it's someone coming to look at your house or it's somebody who sees it online. You don't want that temptation, and you don't want anybody knowing your business. Any of your filing cabinets should be locked. You don't want to have anything sitting out that's of value or personal in the nature. You don't want your stock statements out. You don't want your checkbook out. You don't want your passports to be visible. You want everything locked away so that no one has any access to this stuff. People are very nosy. They snoop, they look, they check out diplomas on the wall. Where did this one graduate from? So on and so on and so forth. Take everything off the walls, put everything away, lock all the valuable stuff, your paperwork, and put it away someplace where no one has access. Trust me, people are looking. Now, if you stay with me to the end of this video, we're going to talk about open houses and what a scam and what a sham those are as well. Speaking of depersonalizing, we talked about having your kids' names out of the room, no artwork. You want to take down personal photos. You don't want to have anybody knowing what you look like. You want everything to look vanilla. You don't want to have any memory books written out. Oh, this is where Johnny took his first step, and we love this house, and it's a great neighborhood to go trick-or-treating. Listen, your kids may have moved out of the house, right? They may be in college, and the people coming in have 3-year-olds, and the neighborhood may not be good for trick-or-treaters anymore. It may not be good for kids anymore. You don't want to get yourself in that position where you say the schools are great, things like that. So you don't want to write out a book and have a whole novel. You can say that you loved living here, but nothing personal. Keep everything to the essential facts. My name is Eli Magids. I'm a real estate advisor here in Charlotte, North Carolina, specializing in luxury homes, custom homes, and new home construction. But most importantly, I am your realtor with heart.
Huge heart.
I can help you anywhere in the country. Feel free to reach out to me. My number is everywhere. Getting back to our list is you don't want to show any signs of distress that you have to get out of the house, that you've got a serious situation going on. For instance, like a divorce. So the way a lot of people do is one moves out and the other person stays in the house, and one closet is completely empty. The women's clothes are out or the men's clothes are completely out, and the other closet is completely full. You don't want to do that. You want to have it kind of like 50-50. You can keep some clothes in the men's closet, some clothes in the women's closet. There's no reason for any buyer to come in and know that there's a divorce situation, because that puts you in less of a negotiation position. Some buyers are going to come in and say, hey, we can get this house for much cheaper. These guys are going through a divorce. They want out of here. You don't want anyone knowing that business. Now, this one may be a little controversial. This is the thing number 9, is that you don't want to have a sign that says, put on booties or take off your shoes. Now, hear me out on this one. You don't want the house to get dirty. We know it's very hard to keep the house clean when you have showing after showing after showing. Most of the time, if you put booties out, people are going to put the booties on. Most of the time, people are going to take off their shoes. However, you don't want to have a sign that says you must wear booties, you must take off your shoes. God forbid somebody takes off their shoes, they're wearing slippery socks and they fall and hurt themselves. You're opening yourself up to a liability. Same thing with those booties. They're very slippery. If you tell them that they must wear it and they put it on and then they hurt themselves, you could potentially be in trouble. If there's no sign, most people will probably do the right thing anyway, but you don't want to have anything that says you must wear these, because that puts you in a very liable situation. Other thing that you want to do in your house is if you have a wine cellar, a lot of my clients have wine cellars, want to lock those up. You don't need anybody walking into your wine cellar, taking a look at your wine collection, perhaps taking something, putting it under their coat. You never know. That's a crazy thing. But yeah, if you have a wine cellar, keep that locked up. And number 10 on this list, or might be 11, you don't want to be in the house with the buyer.
Oh, he won't leave his room, let alone the house.
He's gonna leave the house.
Sellers should never be in the house with the buyer. I know the sellers are gonna say, yeah, we can tell them about the house, we can tell them how much we love the house. Buyers are not comfortable when the sellers are there. When I was in New York and selling my house, or I was looking for a house, it was very common for the sellers to be there. We would walk in and take a look at the house, and the sellers would be eating dinner. It's very uncomfortable. It's very hard to give feedback, and a lot of clients and sellers want. So it's best that you, as the seller, extricate from the premises.
We were just leaving fast.
When you have buyers coming in. Now let's talk about open houses. Open houses are the biggest sham.
It's a sham.
In the real estate business. Realtors aren't going to be happy with me.
I really hate this guy.
But the reason why realtors push to have open houses is because of traffic. And that traffic sometimes brings in buyers who are unrepresented. Open houses do not, let me repeat, they do not sell homes. Maybe less than 1% of all homes are sold without a realtor by a buyer coming into the home on an open house.
Really? Really?
So it's a chance for the realtor to meet the person who is unrepresented and doesn't have a realtor, and for the realtor to obtain some business. So the main reason why realtors have open houses, yes, they want to sell your house, but 90% of people start there looking online. They do not go to an open house if they're really interested. If they're really interested, they're going to make an appointment, they're going to have private time with their own realtor, and they're going to take a look at the house. They're not going to walk in to the open house. Also know that in an open house, you are probably getting a lot of unqualified buyers.
No money.
No. 800 lire.
Realtors, before they run around with buyers, they check to make sure that they're pre-approved. You don't know who is pre-approved when they're just walking in the door and they have nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon when the football season is over. They want to take a look at your decorations. They want to smell your curtains.
And the curtains smell like dew.
Whatever it is, they're probably just nosy neighbors, just kicking the tires.
He was just kicking the tires.
People are coming into your house. They don't even know how much the house is. It's not in the seller's benefit to open houses. On top of the stuff that I already talked about, the medicine cabinets and the people going through and looking to rip stuff off. It's all really not necessary if your house is marketed correctly. You don't want the wrong traffic. You want real buyers. Guys coming in on a Sunday afternoon typically are not going to be the real buyer. And the most important reason that having an open house, not a great idea. I don't think it's a good idea for anybody to have an open house, is for security reasons like we've been talking about. It's not secure for a realtor who's sitting there by themselves on a Sunday. It's not secure for a seller because sometimes people will come in, they'll open up a window, they'll leave it open, and they'll come back after the open house and rob you blind. Realtor cannot watch everybody that comes in to an open house. Open houses are just an illusion. If you want one, that's fine. Just be very realistic and know what you're getting yourself into. Thank you so much for watching, and until we see each other again next time.